Welcome to the Performance Portfolio Podcast with Coop Coop. Greg Cooper is the owner of Cooper Performance Coaching and lead instructor at Kodakwai Judo Club in Edmonton, Alberta. He is on the lifelong pursuit of helping others increase their performance. Cooper Allen is a top financial advisor from Barrie, Ontario, whose focus is empowering everyday families with advice, leadership, and tools that we should have been given in school. Together, they bridge the gap between performance and finance to help you create your own robust performance portfolio. With that, let's get into today's episode.
Coop, how's it going today, brother?
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. It's the year is coming to a close here. We got American Thanksgiving this weekend, and right after that, Christmas trees are up in the malls, and it's Christmas season, and that means Christmas parties, which is awesome.
Can you believe it? Are you one of those people that gets to the end of the year that's like, oh my God, it's flown by so quick?
I kind of did just say that, but no, like I try to live kind of in the moment in the day. But that being said, it is hard not to notice when time goes by fast. And currently, I'm in a season of change for myself, right? I moved, new role. So time has truly been flying for me. But yeah, I try not to be the conversation starter of time's flying by. Oh, geez, look at the frost outside. Yeah, winter's coming.
Yeah, for sure. I'm 100% guilty of that. I'm that guy that's like, can you believe it's been this many years since blank? Can you believe the kids are this age? Can you believe we graduated on this time? Well, yeah, no, I'm becoming that guy, that old guy that I never thought I'd become for sure.
Cooper's dad. Side effects.
Yeah. But I think at the same time though, it's important to have a healthy relationship with that stuff where yes, time's gonna go by fast, but tracking the progress or lack thereof that's been made. So uh, I think that's one thing, as much as I joke about that, that I've always done very well is just documented wins along the way
Mhm.
uh, and kept in touch with like instead of New Year's resolutions, more new month resolutions or new quarter resolutions and stay more focused and win in the day, which is probably an episode that we'll do a little bit closer to the holidays. But I do think that that's important for people is just to have kind of the measuring stick of I I can understand having a bad moment, maybe even a bad day, but a bad year. I really hope that people aren't getting to December 2025 going, man, 2025 was a bad year. Like, how do you have 365 bad days in a row? Like, that's not life happening to you. That's a choice.
Yeah. Hey, homeless people don't have 365 bad days. Their situation might be, to some people as bad as it may seem, but hey, they still have a smile on their face when you walk by sometimes, right? Like nobody has that many consecutive bad days. There's always room for good and there's always room for fun. And it's kind of a great lead into our topic today of having fun around the holidays, but when it comes to alcohol, not needing that to have fun or to have more fun.
Hmm.
So this episode is about, alcohol, where it fits, how to have fun without it. And we're not here to vilify alcohol, right? Like I have friends that are sober. I've gone in stints where I haven't drank, like right now, and I still love a good bottle of scotch. I love a beer, right? Like there's still a place for it, but it doesn't have to be the only thing in your life.
Totally. Yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing some thoughts on this for sure as someone who um yeah, has frequented having a drink the majority of my life. Haven't had one in the last almost 6 months or so, which has been crazy. And uh, we were just at an all-inclusive down south, and I thought that was where I was probably gonna
Hmm.
kind of fly off the wagon a little bit, if you will, but um, just didn't and stayed present and enjoyed the time down there with the family. And it really, this is when I actually texted you about, hey, maybe we should do an episode on this because it totally reshaped my perspective on historically if I was gearing up for a trip like that, I'd be like, let's get all the electrolytes and plan out our days around the fun we're going to be having. But uh, it's crazy when you don't do it, how much more fun and how many more experiences and different experiences are on the
Mhm.
other side of it. But
Well,
what's
the thing that stuck out to me though is you go, man, you can get so much done at a resort when you're not waking up hungover every morning. Right? You're like,
that's
I was in the gym at 6:30 a.m. when I was in Mexico. When the hell does that happen? Right? Like,
yeah,
and it's just
exactly.
it's those small things that we don't think about. Yeah, it's super fun to have a fun night out, do some shots, do all that with a good crew, but yeah, then you're losing 4, 5, 6 hours, maybe the whole day if you're really hung down, and you're sitting on the couch, and then now you've lost the whole day and probably the day after. So it's finding that balance and knowing like it's like, hey, you're you with or without that drink. Just go out and have fun.
It's interesting because this was the first trip for me where I think I've always ha held pretty decent entrepreneurial habits, but I haven't held myself to the same health standard historically that you have. And so not to say that I know what it's like per se, but I was pleasantly surprised how many people were actually also in the gym at 6 in the morning
Mm.
at an all-inclusive resort. I was like, oh, it's just I guess when I decided to stop drinking, part of the reason that it probably took me so long to decide to stop drinking is because I thought it would be very isolating. And I thought that there wouldn't be that many other people who maybe were in a similar bucket. And realizing that when you wake up and go to bed at certain hours and go to different environments, spa, gym, walk in the beach, things like that, it's yeah, there's less people, but it there's still people. It's just different crowds.
Mm.
And that was a big eye opener for me. I assumed it would be empty because everyone was kind of on the same flow and the same wavelength as what I would have been historically going into a what normally is a drinking trip. And um, I was like, oh yeah, there's people choosing to live their lives in an entirely different way. And I think that's not to say that I think somebody has to be sober going into the holiday season, but I do think that there's acknowledging that you might be catching up with some people who are past that point in their lives. So showing some respect and some grace for those people. And then also maybe challenging yourself to go, do I need to drink for a week straight because it's the holidays, or can I just have a holiday? Because I have a feeling that if you drink and eat like crap for a week straight because it's the holidays, then you're going to need a holiday from the holiday.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's that compounding of poor decisions. And let's just talk about normal, or that's maybe not the right word. Casual holiday drinking, not out partying at the club, right? That's a whole another bag. But we're talking about the holidays here, right? So, it's finding that inner intertanglement of, yeah, I'm gonna have some extra calories, gonna eat those cookies, gonna have that Bailey's in my coffee in the morning, gonna have that cocktail at afternoon, but then go for a walk. Like, you don't have to go run a marathon and be the crazy endurance athlete. Go for that walk after that meal, kilometer, just around the block with the dog, with the kids, with the family. And then, maybe, go to the gym in the morning. Around the holidays, outside of the days where there's that big family event, which is maybe a few days, or you're going shopping on Black Friday, between 6 and 8, 6 and 10 during the holidays, nobody's doing anything. Just go for a light workout and you will feel better. So then it's not about, oh, one good thing, one bad thing, negative, no harm, no foul. No, from an athletic standpoint, alcohol has lasting effects 72 hours to a week for some people. Now, that's in the athletic side where we're looking at performance and inflammation and all these things, but that effect still happens to normal people that aren't athletic high performers. It's that sluggish feeling, it's that brain fog, it's the snacking because I'm bored. So, yeah, if you have those drinks, do it. But then have a healthy habit on top of that. Make sure you're hydrating. Make sure that you are going out and being active if you're making that choice. Like you have to not compound poor decision, poor decision, poor decision, poor decision, and then get to January and go, oh man, I need like 2 weeks to reset now. Like you said, Coop. So yeah, it's a slippery slope for some people.
For sure. That was going to be my next question for you is coming through the lens of you being a performance coach. What can people do in the next 5 weeks? Uh, and like you said, not to be perfect, but to not enter the new year feeling guilty around like just finding some small wins, pre-planning their day, things like that. Do you find like, is there a daily structure or a weekly structure or like a 5 week plan or maybe some tangibles that you could encourage people to dial in on so that they can enjoy
Mhm.
maybe a day, 2 days, 3 days of getting out of hand?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question, Coop. So one, I'm a big believer in tracking things, especially habits, good and bad, and the daily power list, right? I'm a big fan. I've done that for the last 6.5 years, just about every day. And it's keeping those good habits and keeping your routine during the holidays. Yeah, Christmas Day, maybe you're not going to have time to do your routine in its totality, and that's okay. But if every other day during the holiday you keep as close to possible as normal, you're going to feel better because that means you're going to be hitting your hydration goals. You're going to be hitting your water goals. That's so important. You're going to be getting in your fruits, your veggies, your healthy foods as well, right? Your fiber and your digestion's still going to be on track. You're going to be getting in your step goals. You're going to be getting in your workouts. And even if you have to adjust them. Okay, so you're away, you're at the families for the holidays. You don't have access to your box gym that you go to all the time. Look at your workouts. Okay, so let's do this live here. So let's say it's an upper day. Bench press. That's push-ups on the floor in your bedroom. Shoulder press. You can do dive bomber push-ups as well. Same thing. Now you're hitting your chest, your shoulders. Squats. Do squats without a barbell. Sit-ups. Right. This is very basic. I can make a more incredible plan if you'd like, and then do some plyometric plank holds and some yoga. Boom. There's a full body workout right there. You if that isn't good enough, then you'll have to go find a gym. But you can still keep this normalcy for yourself to make, at the very least, that mental win of, hey, I'm still doing basically everything right, but now I'm going to add on, a couple drinks with the family and, a couple extra cookies because 'tis the season. Hey, I love baking. I'm eating all the cookies. I am a glutton. I'm going to eat it all. But I'm going to stick to my plan and I'm going to stick to that. So there's none of that guilty feeling of like, oh, I just wasted 3 weeks. I had a near perfect year and now I ruined it at the end. Don't let that happen to yourself.
That's, and I hope that's the point people are hearing too. It's not about a number on a scale or whether you drink or whether you don't drink or anything like that. It's just, it's the feeling, it's the mentality. It's how do you avoid mentally being in a tough place between Christmas and New Year's or once you get into the new year.
Mhm.
And I love that you talked about that for sure. And from my perspective, one of the biggest things for me uh, in terms of drinking is there's a lot of times where I'm in environments where I feel like I need to be, if I'm in a social setting, I got to be putting something to my mouth. It's a comfort thing. So instead of that needing to be a beer, maybe map it out. Like maybe go, okay, well, you know what? The first one is going to be, yeah, it's going to be 0% beer. And then the second one is actually going to be a glass of water. And then the third one's going to be an eggnog. And then I'm gonna have another glass of water, and then I'm gonna have a bubbly, and actually map it out. And to your point about pre-planning and writing things down, it's not just about writing down your workouts or writing down your goals. You can pre-plan what it's going to be like to go to a party or go to a social gathering. If part of it isn't just taste, if part of it is, well, I want to take a couple to cut the edge off, been there. I get it. It's a mental health thing. Uh, Two things. One is I would challenge you to maybe audit where you're going then. If your friends and your family make you anxious, like you need to take the edge off. Why? Let's dive deeper into that. Uh, but then the other piece is if that's just kind of that is how it is, and there's nothing you can really do to change it. Instead of cutting the edge off is because you don't know what to say. People are going to have questions for you that you don't want to answer, or you're going to be in environments where you don't know how to kickstart a conversation. Go into ChatGPT and say, I'm nervous to go to a family gathering, or I'm nervous to go to my work Christmas party. Give me a half dozen conversation starters. Give me a half dozen ways that I can politely exit a conversation that I'm no longer enjoying. And that way, in lieu of having a couple beers to cut the edge off and then feeling better and being able to be yourself, you can go in and prepare. You can prepare for conversations. You can prepare for interactions. And yeah, does it seem a little bit weird to treat a friends and family Christmas party or a work Christmas party like a sales call? For sure, it might seem a little bit weird.
Mhm.
But if that's the difference between you feeling the need to get blackout drunk at the work function versus being able to have a good time,
Mhm.
then I'd imagine that type of pre-call planning is worth it.
Yeah. No, I love that, Coop, and it made me think of two things. So, having those conversations, and actually for me, the very, very first time I did 75 hard, my strategy to, cut the cravings, whatever, because I was a university student when I did it, I was partying all the time. I'm not gonna lie about that. So I drank sparkling water because it was fizzy and I couldn't just chug it like water. So I would sip on it over a duration of time. And frankly, at that point when I was at the bar, nobody could tell that that club soda wasn't a vodka or whatever, right? So nobody actually questioned me about it. So there's a strategy. If you're that nervous about it, if you're that ashamed, which you shouldn't be. But hey, it helps and it takes the eye away from you, depending on the crowd you're in. Now, if you're with your family, I hope they're not going to judge you for that. But if you're still afraid of that judgment or it's giving you some anxiety and stress, reach out to the experts. Who are the experts? Somebody in your life who you know is sober. You might not know right off the top of your head, but I guarantee everybody knows somebody who's sober. And if you're sitting to yourself saying, I can't go a whole Christmas without drinking, that's crazy talk. Talk to somebody who's gone sober. Nobody needed to drink more than somebody who is an alcoholic because at that point it's science and it's literally a physical craving that if like alcohol withdrawal is one of the worst withdrawals. If you've ever seen it or heard about it, it's not pretty. So there's an expert, there's a subject matter expert on it. Hey, friend, you're 5 years sober. How did you have those conversations? How do you still have those conversations? Because they still get it. And it doesn't trigger them, it doesn't make them blow up or run away. But reach out to the people, just like you would in business, just like you would in fitness. You reach out to Coop for your financial advising advice. You reach out to me for performance coach and strength training. Reach out to your friends. They're willing to tell you and help. So it's a resource that I think sometimes we forget. Our
And not
friends who've been there.
100%. And not even just people who aren't drinking necessarily. You could talk to people you know who are personal trainers, performance coaches, or people you know who have just been through a solid fitness journey that's been inspiring to you. And you can say, hey, what's your game plan to win the holidays? And if you ask the average person, what's your game plan? They'd look and go, what are you talking about? Like, that's not a real thing. But then when you talk to the people that you look up to in those capacities, they're probably going to have an answer. If they don't have one, they might go, you know what, I haven't thought about it yet, but give me a week or two and let's jump on a quick phone call
Mhm.
and I'll run you through it. And their plan doesn't need to be your plan, but the closer you are to the fire, the warmer you're going to be.
Yep.
The whole average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, it's similar in that nature where the more perspectives that you get, the more you can connect in your head that this person has a semblance of the life that I would like, and they do X, Y, Z. And this person doesn't, and they do ABC. But ABC is what's comfortable to me right now. The more you can put yourself in environments where you're understanding that the link between not doing ABC and doing X, Y, Z isn't actually weird, tacky, taboo, rah, rah, woo, woo, whatever. And it's actually the connector between you, where you currently are, and the life you're trying to live. the better position you're going to put yourself in, and the more it's going to take you from being where I was, which is I don't do that woo woo rah rah stuff. I'm going to drink what I want, eat what I want, live how I want, and whatever, all that other stuff is Kool-Aid. Taking myself from there to, oh, let's plan, let's get structured, let's get intentional. Uh, let's still enjoy life, but enjoy life within the confines of a game plan and a
Mhm.
structure. And the reason that you can still have fun with a game plan and a structure is because you're the one who put it in place, which means that you have control. Control equals progress, progress equals happiness.
Mm. Yeah, man. I love that. And to build onto that, Coop, this one's gonna trigger some people. Hey, if your goals aren't important enough to you that you can't say no to that drink or to that fifth bad meal in a row, they're probably not that important to you. You can might
100%.
talk, right? People talk all the time. Oh, I want to look like this. I want to do that. I want to be healthy. I want to run that first marathon. Great. So your goals don't hit pause at the holidays. You cannot go pause and nothing's going to change if I hit pause. It's not video game. If your goals are truly important to you and you're truly trying to make that change or to get that PR or to just better your life, you have the ability to say no 100%. And if you're listening to this going, Greg, you're full of it. I've been there. I've done that. I've helped people been there and done that. It's not impossible. People have said no their whole lives. So it's just that if that isn't something you can do, then hey, stop talking about your goals and just go have fun. It's all good. No problem.
Absolutely. I think that's a good place to wrap for today. But yeah, I hope people were listening. A bit of a quicker one today, but we wanted to get the point out with the release date being American Thanksgiving and going into Christmas party season and New Year's, and we kind of get into that mindset of New Year, new me. But that could start now,
Yeah,
and
100%.
yeah, just making sure that people know, hey, we're not saying alcohol is bad. We're not saying that food is bad. We're saying have a game plan that's congruent with where you want to be. And I would challenge your thinking that if you were going to drink 6 days over the holidays, do four. Or if you were going to binge drink every single time, maybe have a couple of times where you're just social casual. And please, whatever you do, I'll close on this before I turn it to you, Greg, for final thoughts, is arrange your rides, do not drink and drive.
Coop, you read my mind. I was gonna say I wanted to add one more thing in, and that's a great strategy to not drink. Volunteer as the designated driver for your family or your friends for that party, and then you're the safe ride home. You don't need to get an Uber. If the roads are bad, right, you have a good four-wheel drive vehicle with good winter tires. Like, make that right decision because nobody wants to have to spend the holidays dealing with that, or at the worst, at the very least, a banged up rear end bumper, especially if you live in Canada where it's icy all the time. So, yeah, get home safe, make the right decisions, keep gamifying your life, build those good habits, enjoy time with the family and friends. It's the season of giving and enjoy the holidays. So, yeah, awesome note that we both were thinking that way, Coop. So, yeah, to our friends and family south of the border, happy American Thanksgiving. And as the season starts, we wish everybody a great start to the Christmas season. So we'll see you guys next week.